the next round, which is a great show if you haven't really tuned into it. It's based out of kind of the Birmingham, Alabama area. They do Auburn, they do Alabama, they do national college football coverage as well, and just sports in general. Well, I was talking with someone today about this, and it's very interesting to me. We talked about this a little bit last night, where you mentioned the disconnect between Hugh Freeze, and I tweeted about it. The disconnect between Hugh Freeze and Payton Thorne, regardless of what you think, and it might be your favorite team, and I'm not singling you out. There's a gap. There is a widening gap. So what's crazy to me, first off, for people who don't know how this works, pre-NIL, okay? Pre-NIL, if you wanted to interview a player, you had to go through the athletic communications department, the SIDs of the world, to get approved. You could have them on a podcast like this, in person, whatever you want to do. Well, in today's day and age, with NIL, with separate agents, you can you have your own media team. And so essentially, whether people believe this or not, there are shows and there are places that will pay people to be on their show. I, as we know, went to go look at the face of college football and see what he would command. And, if you want to donate to the show, make sure you do that. We can maybe get Diego Pavia on the show. I don't have a problem with that. But it's crazy how much it has changed because, Will, just 72 hours ago, we saw Jarquez Hunter, we saw Hugh Freeze sit there, and we saw them question their quarterback, essentially. Question the decision making publicly of their quarterback. And Hugh Freeze had kind of been doing this, but this was so direct and not demonstrative, but it was so direct and just bold. It kind of took me by surprise when I saw the quote. Well, then through the NIL workings, Payton Thorne has a weekly appearance on the next round where he essentially says, I'm not going to go into it, but I did do what I was supposed to do. So, Will, this is one of the main issues of having paid appearances on shows, because the school doesn't get to relegate or regulate what happens. Wanted your thoughts. I'm sure you saw the clip. I don't know if you did,
I
of what
did.
Payton Thorne said. I'm going to go find the clip. I want you to talk about just kind of your
Yeah.
thoughts, because to me, it shows a massive divide and just a gap between. They're not just not on the same page. They aren't even close, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot to unpack here. First, with what Freeze said, it took you by surprise. I thought it was kind of tame for the way he's been the last couple of weeks. You know, when he said it, I was like, okay, you know, he trusts Thorne. Obviously, he hitched his wagon to him. He's a fifth-year senior. He's played plenty of football. If you've given him the authority to make a change at the line, he did it, and it didn't work. And then Jarquez essentially said, yeah, Payton changed the play, and nobody knew what the play was. He basically called his own number after the snap. So for me, 2 against 1, it's going to be a he said, she said, obviously, but it's Gavin chimes in. Hugh's face after the play doesn't tell Thorne did what he was supposed to. Yeah, I mean, Thorne definitely did not run the play that was called. But for Thorne to say, I'm not going to get into it and then just go into it, it's a horrible look. I said it last night. If your quarterback's not running what's called, he can't be on the field. We saw what Hank Brown did. I still think there's a lot of talent there. It was maybe too early for Hank Brown. Probably was too early for Hank Brown. But if Payton Thorne's not doing what the coaches are telling him to do, he shouldn't be on the field. And we'll just live with it because after what's going on publicly, I don't think Auburn fans would be all that upset about going through the growing pains of Hank Brown the rest of the year. I wouldn't know, seeing what's going on, and I don't think the majority of Auburn fans would mind it either.
Well, you can stomach it because it's a different situation. This isn't a fifth-year guy who's just hasn't progressed in 2 years. I mean, this is a guy who's having to learn for the first time on his own. Right. Now, here is I was able to pull this up, and then we'll play the clip of Payton Thorne and what he said here as well. So here is the clip of what Payton Thorne said, or what Hugh Freeze said post-game. He absolutely didn't go with what we had called. We've got to coach better to where that's not really an option in that moment, in that time. Hugh Freeze on Payton Thorne's decision to keep the ball in 4th and 1. Well, I did want to correct myself. It wasn't that I was surprised. I want to make sure I say this right. It wasn't a surprise though. I don't think it's an offensive way he said it. It's just more I'm surprised like that he just came out there and said it. I think that's what kind of caught me out. And also too, we've got to coach better to where that's not really an option. He's trying to not throw his quarterback under the bus when he says that. Because
he's definitely heard he's definitely heard the criticisms the last few weeks about throwing people under the bus. And I am tired of hearing it, but when he addressed it, I think during the week, he made a good point of saying, I'm telling the truth. If it sounds like I'm throwing somebody under the bus, that's not the intention. But, the truth is the truth. And he's absolutely right about that. Auburn is just such a roller coaster. I keep going back and forth on who to believe, who to point the finger at. But it's still on the coaches. He says, we got to coach better. You just tell him what to do. And if he doesn't do it, put his butt on the bench. What did Bobby Knight say? The biggest motivator is the bench
right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Thorne, when he got benched against Arkansas, he came in, he certainly played motivated, not good enough to win the game, and played good enough to beat Oklahoma until the fourth quarter. So there was some motivation there. Maybe he needs to get motivated some more.
Here is Thorne this morning. He does an appearance every single week, which is, having worked in the SID world and working on now the other side of it, it's a crazy concept to know that there's not an SID sitting there, monitoring what this guy says. It results in stuff like this. I will say that.
Just relationship with the head coach right now, because there was another, I won't call it an incident, but
first off, the question asked, the relationship with your head coach, way to just like dive into it. I mean, I don't know if this was the first question, but like, this is crazy. It's crazy to me this happens. So we'll get you the full 1 minute and 11 seconds.
But another end of the game situation where there's some looking at you on television on the bench and head shaking going on. You and Coach Freeze still on the same page? You smoothed over the edges and ready to go in the second half of the season?
Yeah, I think it was a fourth down play that was, being looked at, and I won't get too much into it. I could explain what happened, but I don't think that would, help our team. So I'll keep that one in house. But I will say I did not check any play. It was something that we talked about on the sideline, that I said what I saw and what it was, and then obviously our coaches saw after the game when they watched the film too what I was saying, and so we've handled it. But now it's just moving forward and doing what we can to execute out there and to give ourselves the best chance to win the rest of the season.
So let's just talk about the remaining.
I want to know what they saw.
Well, this is the first thing. I'm going to hop on that SEC media coaches call tomorrow, because I might ask you, Freeze, this question. Payton Thorne essentially has said that he was right in the moment and the coaches were wrong. And then after the fact, the coaches pretty much told him he's right. That's what I take away. Also, when you see stuff like this, a lot of times you see the player sit there and laugh like, oh, yeah, we're cool. Because they play it off because it's a joke and whatever. The fact that he just immediately, first off, looks stone-faced and immediately kind of just is like, well, no, yeah, we took care of behind closed doors. He's not happy. He's not happy with this situation. Auburn fans should not be happy with this situation. And I don't think Hugh Freeze is happy with this situation, but Hugh Freeze has made his bed, and now he has, like Ralph is doing currently, he's got to lay in it.
Yeah. I want to know what he's saying that they saw. If the coaches are right, because I think at this point everybody's seen the screen grab. If he hands that ball to Jarquez Hunter, he can run behind the left guard and get 6 or 7 yards before he even gets touched. So I can't find it quickly. I think I sent it. I'm gonna try to find it, but I want to know what he's talking about. What'd they see? Because you've watched the play a bunch of times. What did you see?
I mean, to me, now I will say the Georgia edge defender played it well to where you
did.
could be in a situation
Blew it up.
where you blew up the play. So you give credit to the other team that they did something well. But as a fifth-year quarterback, you got to make the right decision. Well, I'm with you. I think that you hand the ball off to Jarquez Hunter there. But like I said, I mean, you got to remember, we're looking at the broadcast angle. They've got the overhead. They've got the different film angle. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing in that. But I don't know, man. I think bottom line, you walk away from this. I don't know. It's not. I'll say this, and then I'll throw it to you, and then we'll end tonight's Talking Tuesday. It's not going to get better anytime sooner, if that makes sense for Auburn. That's my take. This isn't something that you just correct and move on. 2025 is something that Auburn fans are going to look forward to with that recruiting class, and then obviously hoping that you can solidify the quarterback position. I will be honest with you, Will, and we're taking a way too early look at it. We'll leave it here, and I'll let you end it. I don't think you should roll into the season with a true freshman quarterback in Deuce Knight if he does end up signing at Auburn. I think you need to go find a legitimate portal option that can buy you at least a year, and you need to go buy a quarterback. Like, let's just call it what it is. You need to go do that. Yeah, it's not going to get. It's not. Well, it's eventually going to happen. It's not happening this year for Auburn. Like it's just not. And they're going to be fighting for bowl eligibility.
Well, I've said it a couple times.
You've been saying it since January, and I want to apologize. It's a hand-up situation on me. You've been saying it for a long time.
I've said it a couple times during the season. Auburn's going to go. This team's going to go 3-9. I mean, I have not liked what I've seen at all, and this is a far better team than the 2012 Auburn team that went 3-9. It's far better. They can't get out of their own way. There's infighting clearly between the offensive staff and the quarterback, which you can't have if you want to have any success whatsoever. It's kind of a miracle that Auburn has done what it's done to this point. And Freeze keeps saying, well, what we're doing is working. And he is right. I mean, they're putting up numbers. They just don't take care of the ball. But this team is missing that X factor, whatever it is. To me, maybe it's want, maybe it's drive, it's desire. I don't see it. Especially with the offense. The defense deserves way better. Yeah. DJ Durkin has done an excellent job the first half of the year with what he has to work with. But the offense, I don't understand it. I don't know. It seems to be the same old song and dance that the bad Gus Malzahn years had. Where is Freeze calling the plays? Is he not calling the plays? Something's not clicking. The players are too good. Why are we so bad on offense? These players should be playing better than this. It's frustrating, and that's I think where a lot of Auburn fans sit. It's just frustrating.